So I decided to make a walk around of my truck, go over what I've done to it, because I've gotten lots of questions about things like suspension and other odds and ends. So I'll start with the interior. So on the interior, I have some Subaru Impreza seats. The only mount I had to change was the rear left, or the rear right one. That one right there, I had to change. There's my compressor for my air shocks. Going to the center console, I have a 4Runner center console with a SR5 shift bezel. And if you get a center console, you want the double-decker one because it has the bolt holes that line right up with OEM holes that are there. But it just has two compartments instead of just the one. Then I got a D&D steering wheel with a D&D short hub adapter. And I have the SR5 cluster with the tack. It was pretty easy to wire up. It's just pretty much plug and play. Besides the tack, I did have to wire because mine wasn't pre-wired. And then the only other thing in the interior that's not stock, besides obviously my air compressor and my shift knob I made, it's a BMX shift knob, is the 4Runner locking handle here for my glove box. And it does work because I rekeyed it. If you guys want to learn how to rekey, I can show you a video on that sometime. Just have the stock door panels. Everything else is pretty stock. Just left alone, just pretty cleaned up. Oh, I do have the SR5 4Runner rearview mirror with LEDs, blue LEDs. And a sunroof that I did not put in my truck. It came that way, but it does have a sunroof. So as far as the engine goes, this thing came stock with the R instead of the RE. So I do have a Weber carb on it to make it run better. Fuel pressure regulator from Weber. Some little odds and ends to clean up the engine bay and make it look a little bit better, like a billet cap from LCE and their billet wire loom. Here's where my SFR tack runs to. It's pretty stock, runs pretty good. Has the aftermarket fuel pressure sending unit for the cluster that you have to change out, else you'll destroy the fuel pressure on the cluster. You'll short it out, so that's another thing you have to do. And I did a complete smog delete on this engine when I did the Weber carb, so clean it up. No power steering, just the basic of the basic. As far as the front end goes, it's a 4Runner front end, but four-wheel drive fenders are the same. So it's the four-wheel drive fenders, different hood that's not all banged up. It's got the two-wheel drive 82 to, or not 82, 92 to 95 two-wheel drive grill. aftermarket LED lights that you do have to get a wiring kit to do. My truck didn't come with horns, so I put some aftermarket hell horns on it. Also used a wiring kit for that. And this bumper is off the 89 to 91 Toyota 4Runners and pickups. A lot of people go for the year after 4Runner, but I like this one more, and you don't have to change the lights. And I just have depot clear lights for the front end. It does have the header and aftermarket exhaust that I built. I got this bed cover off of eBay for around $100. It's not bad. And this is my shaved tailgate. Works great. But I can't lock my tonneau cover because else I'll be locked out of my bed. So I will be changing back to the original outside handle tailgate. So this one will be for sale as of right now. Just opens up nice and smooth, closes nice and smooth. As far as suspension and wheels go, these wheels are US Indy Mags, 15x8, -1 offset. They're pretty decently flush. They're a little bit inset, so I can turn and not have any clearance issues. And front suspension. So the front suspension, I have Beltec drop spindles, sway bar. I did a ball joint flip on it. I have S10 spring assisted shocks. Gives it a little bit better of a ride. And it dropped it about 6 inches with the torsion bars a little bit, and then in the back it has Beltec drop leafs, 3-inch blocks, pinion angle correction, and air shocks. Just the stock shackles and everything. It does have aftermarket depot taillights. And that's pretty much it. It does have a C-notch in the back to let the axle go into the frame. And I guess I'll let you hear how it sounds. Couple things I missed was I did do a 5-speed swap. Originally this came with a G40 4-speed transmission, so I put a W58 in it just recently, and it drives amazing. As far as the sound system goes, I have an Alpine deck and a Bazooka tube sub with an Alpine amp. Sounds pretty good. And I just have basic Infinity 4.5-inch speakers. Everything's run off the amp, the speakers and the sub. It has plenty of power to do both. No problem at all. I think that's it. As far as what I got coming up for next is, all I have really left for it is a carpet. I am trying to find a little bit of a cleaner bed before I go to paint it, but this summer I'll be painting it original Toyota blue. that came on these trucks. Yeah, and that's just about it. I really don't have much more to do to this truck, and I'll be done with it. Well, not done, but I'll be done changing it and everything. So that's my truck. Hope you liked it. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. And yeah, thanks guys.